Hi there. I am a software engineer with over 9 years of professional experience. While I found a lot of good and bad from this career choice, I want to focus on 4 hidden job requirements you should know. If you don't love these 4 things, software engineering is a bad fit for you. Be sure to stick around to the end because the last one might surprise you. Let's dive right in. The first indicator that you should avoid software engineering as a career is if you hate thinking mathematically. So, of course, this doesn't really mean being great with numbers. It's more about being good with logic. Um, so, if you are really good at algebra, that's a great indicator that you are really good at thinking mathematically. If you enjoy algebra, you will likely enjoy programming. But if you hate algebra, it's very likely more to do with the fact that many Americans are not taught math properly than your actual mathematical abilities. So, another indicator is if you've ever been called analytical, if you love spreadsheets, if you love patterns, especially math based patterns like fractals, that could indicate that you really are good at thinking mathematically and that software engineering actually could be a great fit for you. And of course, thinking mathematically is very, very useful for being able to solve problems, which is the next thing you should enjoy if you want to become a software engineer. One indicator that you're great at solving problems is if you're very persistent when faced with something. Maybe you just keep banging your head against it until it makes sense to you when you're trying to learn a new skill. In any case, if you actually do persist through solving problems, then that's a good sign for your future as a software engineer. If you do not, if you begin to get frustrated and give up, then that is a bad sign. Of course, software engineering doesn't actually, in the industry, face very many completely new problems, which is why we have all of these generative AI tools that can be useful for coding, which is why software engineers are constantly Googling how to do things, which is why we check out Stack Overflow. All of these are very useful tools because someone else came before us and did it better than we can think of at that particular moment. Or we've solved the problem before and we just want to say, hey, how did I do this previously? So if you want to learn a lot more about how to solve problems, that's what this channel is all about. So please go ahead and subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And speaking of learning more, the third thing is continuous learning. Technology changes constantly and it changes fast. There's always new languages, there's always new versions of languages, sometimes with major changes, sometimes with minor. There's a ton of things surrounding the actual coding part of programming jobs, such as learning security, learning how to deploy, working with infrastructure like the cloud, learning a new tool like VS Code or IntelliJ. So there's always something new that you have to be able to learn. So if you don't enjoy learning, this may not be a great career fit. Finally, this last reason that maybe you should avoid software development is the hidden requirement of teamwork. It used to be that software was seen as very much you were a loner coder, you went and spent time in the basement figuring out the problems, coming up with a complete solution all on your own. But those days are pretty much gone at this point. There's some exceptions, but overall, software is now treated primarily like a team sport. This includes practices such as paired programming, where you work with another developer to ensure that your code is as bug-free and high quality as possible. But even if you don't have a practice like that in your software job, you will still have to communicate with the client. You will still have to communicate with designers. You will still have to communicate with project managers and your actual just manager. And you will have to cooperate with all of those people and make sure that you are building the software that they want. Also, even just getting a job requires the soft skill of communication because that's how you convince a hiring manager that you should join the team. So that's it for this one. Go ahead and comment with your agreements or disagreements. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one.